Hey everyone, welcome to my last day on Watermelon Island, and I seriously need to restock. And you may think that's funny that I would say I need to restock on watermelon since this is my last day, but as I'm reaching the end, I'm feeling so good just eating watermelon that I definitely want to keep on doing it. I'm not sick of it by any means. In fact, I think I love watermelon even more than I did going into this. So having it for breakfast for a couple days and then for lunch for a couple days, it sounds really wonderful to me. So I'm definitely going back to the store and getting more. So I wanted to go over today things that I noticed and things that are going to really help you if you're interested in following along and doing what I did. And hopefully this will help give you a jump start to the information that you need to know. If you have any questions that I don't address in this video or in my previous videos, please do contact me below. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. First of all, I want to say that when you're considering doing something like this, whether it's Watermelon Island, Banana Island, Mango Island, Orange Island, whatever you prefer, make sure that you have enough of your amount of food before going into this, because there's nothing worse than not having enough and having to go back to the store, especially if you're hungry. And that also goes for preparing food. So if you can do any preparation in the morning, which usually you can, and prepare at least a meal in addition to breakfast or a couple snacks in addition to breakfast, do that. Because especially in the first few days when the hunger strikes you, you want to make sure that you're ready to address that. You're not tempted to reach for something else that's quick and easy, because what you have that you want to do is already quick and easy. It's been prepared for you. So think ahead, prepare, and you're going to be so much more successful and happy. Also, keep in mind, not only are we simplifying our digestive system and giving our body energy to do other things, especially healing and repairing. If your body is not having to work extra hard in digestion and you're getting enough sleep and you're not overdoing it on exercise, your body's going to use the excess energy that you're going to be getting during these 3 days to a week to do healing, which is super wonderful. You never know what could be needing attention. Your body does, and it's going to give attention to those areas during this time. So that's really great. Also, mono-mealing is super cost effective. Depending on the type of fruit you get, make sure that it's in season. It's going to be a lot cheaper than if you were purchasing meals, especially if you're on the go and out and about. That can get really expensive. If I'm out and about and I'm doing a mono meal, especially a watermelon, all I need to have handy with me is a knife and a spoon, and I'm set for the day if I'm having to go and get it as I go. Otherwise, I prepare stuff ahead of time. I have juice, I have it already cut up, ready to go with me with some ice packs. But it's super easy and convenient, travels well with you, and like I said, very cost effective. I can eat for less than $10 a day, easy on watermelon. Bananas would be even cheaper. So depending on the fruit and the season, you can get really, really cheap meals, which is fantastic, especially if you're saving up for something. You can use the money that you would have spent on meals for whatever it is that you're saving up for. So that can be another extra bonus. Another great thing is I don't have to think about food. I don't have to think ahead and think, well, what am I going to make for dinner tonight? What do I have handy in the house? I know what I'm already having for dinner, watermelon. So I don't have to think about that. There's plenty of watermelon there. All I have to think about is, how do I want to prepare my watermelon? Do I want it juice? Do I want it in chunks? Do I want a smoothie? You saw the recipe video that I published, so that gives you a lot of great ideas there. So I can be a little bit creative, but I don't have to wonder if I have all my ingredients and anything else like that. It's super simple. I can use my thought energy on something else now. Another great reset that you get when you're doing mono-mealing or juicing is your taste buds get a reset as well. It takes usually about 30 days to reset your taste buds once you've shifted into a new style, new habit of eating. But this kind of shortcuts the system because your palate is really cleansed. It's used to just one thing the entire time, so that when you go back to eating, hopefully you're going back to an even healthier lifestyle, and you taste things, you'll notice that things that tasted just fine before might be a little bit too salty or too sweet now, or you can taste there's something really fattening in this that you don't like and unsettling. So the flavors really come out. You can taste things better and really evaluate Does this really, truly taste good, or did I get used to this over time? Another really great thing for being prepared is to make sure you're watching your calories. You want to get in enough calories, so whether you want to do the average 2,000 or plug it into Chronometer and see how many calories you need based on your age and activity level. So get enough calories. If you don't have enough calories, you're going to start having cravings, and that's no fun. This is supposed to be enjoyable, fun, satisfying, and if you're getting enough calories, you're not going to have cravings. If you desire another food, it might be because it's right in front of you, or you're preparing it for another family member, or it's a nostalgic feeling of, I always have chips and dip at this time, for example, or I always have ice cream at this time. That's not a true craving. So I'm talking about when your body is sending you a message of, I need something really bad, and it craves something that may not be so good for it. So if you have enough calories in your body, you're not going to have any true cravings whatsoever. Another really great benefit that I noticed that I wasn't expecting for myself because I didn't think I had an issue with this was belly bloat. Belly bloat is something that is addressed when you do something like a watermelon island, banana island, etc. When it simplifies your digestion system and really cleanses things through. I didn't think I had anything going on with that because I eat very clean already, being raw vegan. And of course I have loose skin from having 2 kids, but I noticed on day 4, 5, and 6 that I was waking up with a flatter stomach, which is really, really cool, and it's something that every lady loves. So I'm sure men love it too. You wake up with a flatter, more toned stomach. So that was a great benefit that I noticed. Some other benefits that I noticed is I definitely did have more energy, and I would like to say that I was able to dedicate more time to sleeping. It was kind of funny. It reminded me of vacations that I've had in Arizona, and back when I lived in Arizona, I would wake up really early. I'd wake up with the sun in the summer, and I was energized, ready to go. And that's kind of what happened during this. Usually I wake up, if there's no alarm at all, I'll wake up closer to 6:37. If there's an alarm set, I'll wake up at 6:30 on the dot. Now I'm waking up at 5:36, and I'm ready to get up and get out of bed. I don't feel groggy at all. My eyes don't feel puffy. And so that's really great. I was kind of sad to miss out on an extra half hour of sleep, but I guess my body didn't need it. So great benefit there. So remember how I said it was time for my system to get a reboot because I was having cravings prior to this. And those lasted for maybe 2 days, where midday I was kind of really wanting something salty or savory. And I noticed as soon as I was done with the watermelon challenge that when I went back to one of my favorite foods, which is my homemade pico de gallo, and it's fantastic, really, really great food for you, but it has a little bit of salt in it. It was too salty. It was kind of, it's just all right, but I really want something else. I was wanting to reach for fruit instead. So that really made me happy that I had overcome that, because that was something that I really kind of wanted on a daily basis. And I don't want to keep eating something with salt in it on a daily basis, even if it's just a little bit of it. So that craving was fixed in my system, and I'm super excited about that. So I mentioned in the title, the real poop. So for those of you that are wondering about how you should expect your bowel movements to go during an island cleanse like this, it depends on the fruit that you have chosen to do. So something that's more dense like bananas, you'll probably have more consistent and regular bowel movements throughout. Something like I did, watermelon, which is a lot more watery, you'll have less because the fiber content is that much lower. So I would say that I was consistent every time I was eating until about day 3, and then it dropped off. And I knew I had reached the point where things had cleansed through as much as they were going to as far as my intestinal tract goes, because the stool was the same color as the watermelon that I was eating. So just that was going in, just that was coming out. So that was really cool to be able to see that and know that I had gotten a really good cleanse there and was at the point that I wanted to be. That's going to be different for everybody depending on what you were eating before you came into this. And like I mentioned before, when you go into a cleanse like this, please, please do not binge on something a couple days before you go into it, because you're gonna not feel good at all. You wanna come into this with good energy, good motivation, and already having inched towards what you're wanting to do. So do as clean eating as possible before going into a cleansing type diet for a week. And also the same when you're easing out. So have a reward food that's not going to make you feel ugh when you're done with this. And I did kind of an experiment for you guys, and I did what you're not supposed to do. I cheated and went straight from watermelon to cooked Indian food. This is vegan Indian food, but it was cooked and it's heavier. And so, yeah, I would say the food did not taste anywhere as good as I remembered. It was not that awesome, even though it smelled good and I thought it might be good. It did not taste very good. And I was bloated and I had low energy for probably well into mid-morning of the next day. So not a happy camper. I have tried this for you, so I can tell you for sure it's not what you want to do. So have a reward food for when you break your fast, is something like a salad or another type of fruit that you really love, a smoothie, that type of thing. Ease back into the way that you want to eat from now on. And if that means adding things slowly or adding things faster, just listen to your body and see what it's ready to do. But please don't pick up something heavy or greasy or anything like that when you break into your regular eating again. And really, truly, if you're using something like Watermelon Island to get yourself to a point where you're ready to transition into cleaner eating, set yourself up for success. Be kind to yourself, because we're not perfect. We're all going to mess up. So what I have found recommended, and that works really, really well, is have acceptable cheat foods set up. So for example, if I had decided I'm going raw vegan, what is my acceptable cheat food? My acceptable cheat food is not going to be something like hamburgers and fries or a milkshake, something like that, that takes me completely out of the realm of being vegan or even vegetarian. It's very greasy, it's cooked, it's the antithesis of what I want to eat. So that's not an acceptable cheat food. What would be an acceptable cheat food? Well, it depends on what I really like, because I'm not going to pick a cheat food that I don't like. So let's say I really love sweet potatoes, cooked sweet potatoes. Okay, it's still vegan, it's still produce, but it's cooked. And I might sprinkle a little bit of brown sugar on it or vegan butter. So that would be an acceptable cheat food. And as you go along, know that that's an acceptable cheat food. And if I'm going to fall off the wagon, I'm going to fall there. I'm not going to fall into bacon, for example. I think it's very easy to lose sight of things and not be honest with ourselves of why exactly it is that we want to do something like a watermelon cleanse or a change in diet to become healthier. When you're thinking about doing something like this, really evaluate the reason why you want to do it. Is it a body image thing? Is it a self-esteem thing? Are you really struggling with health? And what exactly is going on in your life right now? What are your true goals? Where do you want to be? And make sure that you have a clear understanding of that before you go forward, because that way you're going to be a lot less likely to grab onto this and grab onto this and try all these things and actually end up hurting yourself and not getting to where you want to be. So I would encourage you to have a clear goal in mind and have a really good idea of where you are and what that looks like to you, how you feel about yourself right now, and how do you want to feel about yourself? Where are you really going with this? Because when you have a good grasp on that, you're gonna have success. You're going to be motivated, you're gonna know your why, and it's gonna keep driving you forward. So you are gonna reach what you wanna reach. You're not gonna be wandering down paths and following people hoping that this person has the right answer or this person has the right answer. Really start with yourself, and don't aspire to be like other people. Don't aspire to be like me. We are all unique, and you can't move forward unless you have a clear picture of who you really are and where it is that you want to get. So all in all, I have got to say I got more out of this than I thought I would, and I am super pleased about that. I was sharing with my husband all the benefits that I just shared with you and how happy I was and how I feel like I want watermelon even more now instead of less after this. And he said that he wanted to try doing a week with me as well. So yay, I'm really excited about that. I know he's gonna love this too because he really enjoys watermelon. So we'll probably do this in about a month so I feel like I get more of all the other nutrients back into my body before I go onto a cleanse again. And at this point, I'm just doing it for fun because it is fun and I love the simplicity of it, the ease of it, and how good I feel and how wonderful my meals are when I do this. Like I said, everything in moderation. It can be easy to get addicted to a detoxing high, and that's not where I want to be. I just want to be at a place where I'm doing this a little bit for fun, and I'm also thinking about it and not doing it too often. So a month from now, that seems reasonable enough to me, and I have no plans on doing another cleanse anytime in the near future because I know at this point my body is not asking me to do it. So that's where I'm going to leave off. And again, if you have any questions, please do post them below. I am more than happy to answer those. I am super excited. If you are thinking about doing this even for a day, let me know and I will cheer you on. I will be your cheerleader. Have a wonderful week and I'll see you next time.